Welcome back to Satisfactory. Alright, so I was in the midst of creating some copper, and I want to give you a quick update. I didn't build the secondary side of this quite yet. We don't really need all this aluminum quite yet, so we'll let this side over here. We'll leave that for the future. Right now, I'm in the midst of building some copper ingots, believe it or not. Why are you doing that, you may ask? Well, I have a couple of pretty awesome recipes for the aluminum sheets. That one requires copper by itself. And then I want to say, is it aluminum container? No. Let's try just being aluminum here. There's an alternate recipe for the casing. That's it. That allows me to make a bunch more a lot faster. So we're going to go with that. We want to fill the belt when necessary as quickly as possible. And then we also know that way down in the future, we're going to need copper ingots in order to make copper powder. So we're in the midst of building a little bit of copper. And then even for that, we're going to use an alternate recipe. What do you think? 3 of these? Yeah, I think so. That should be enough to get us going. So we're going to bring up this alloy. This is what we're looking to build. We're going to bring up copper ore and iron ore. All right, we're going to cut that copper, which is rare for us at this location, with the iron, which we've got tons of, to make extra copper. That's going to give us 300 per unit per minute on each belt. Each belt, as we currently understand it, Mark 5 is 780 total. So that'll give us a little bit of room to grow. And here we're going to do 2 of these. We only have 3 of them, so let's just go ahead and finish the whole thing off, shall we? All right, so that's 6 machines ready to go, and since it is that alternate recipe, it does crank out pretty good, 100 units per minute. One other nice thing is when you're in the hover pack, you can paste much easier. The paste radius has something to do with your reach radius, and you have to be within sort of configure range in order to look at the configure range when you're flying. It's ridiculous. So that means you can also paste at that range. Good to know, right? I thought it was. And then we're going to build a couple of connectors so we can bring up our raw materials. I think that's more or less done. Then on each side of this, we're going to bring down the resulting materials. Whoa, what happened there? Okay. So now we've got 300 being made on that side. Oh no, I'm out of range. I guess while we're thinking about it, let's make some power connections happen. Whoops. Definitely wanted to connect this pole to this machine. And go down one more. Connect this pole here and like that. Okay, they're all nice and powered. Let's go ahead and construct the... Yeah, let's the merger down first, I suppose. I'm going to try to keep this relatively tight. We've got some good room in our mega factory here, but no need to waste. If this ends up being our last level, I think I'd be okay with that. Alright, let's see. Okay. I think we're set up. Let's drop down here and add some copper and some ore, which I think I've started building. Yep. Copper and ore is right there on the bus. Where are we connecting that? Right here. I think what I'm going to do, instead of trying to go direct in, we're going to do 2 wings. So splitter on the belt. We'll go like this on this side, and then equally different on that side. This one will go this way, and this one will go this way. And we'll go straight up. Oh, wow. That looks amazing, actually. Are you going to be generous and connect that? I kind of don't want to connect it. It looks like it would look really ugly. I think I want to put a little belt in there. What we'll do is we'll go here. We'll spin this out. And we'll see if we can just do it. Oh, that would have been cool. That would have been cool. How do we get this to connect reasonably good? Reasonably well, even. We can go on this side. And then just do a little S. Oh! Alright. We'll take this back out. Then we'll go this way. That should totally work. What do you mean? Okay. Conveyor lift connections. The game. Let's go here. All right. Now we're cranking out copper ingots. 300 per minute on each side. They're going to start coming out fast and furious here. Then we need to connect this and this to this belt over here. So we could just do the every other conceptual model. Right, so we wanted aluminum on this one and this one, and so we'll put copper on every other one as well. Is that gonna fit? Oh, just enough room. So we'll put a merger here. Then we'll go from our target belt to the ceiling. From our target. And then we'll drop it straight in. Beautiful. And then let's see. So we're going to go the every other side of this one, but that's right, just happens to be right where I made that false connection. I could do it on this side, I suppose. Let's do that. Right there. Come on. Then we'll go up to the ceiling. And you go out and you take it in. Done. Beautiful. That was easy. Now, basically, we just want to combine the aluminum from here and the copper from here to make various other things. Let's see what our requirement is here. Casing assembler. They both work on assemblers. Man, I haven't made an assembler in a long time. Just so happen to need some cable. Let's see, do I have any cable over here? No. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some cable. It'll be 2 seconds for you. Alright, we're back. Grab the cable and we're ready to rock and roll. Put simply, we need basically... So the assembler on one side is going to create... We could make this really close together probably. Alright, we don't have to try to save any room on this. Alright, let's give ourselves a little bit of power before we... Can I upgrade this one? Then we'll bring the power out over here. Then we'll just go power down here so we can have some... a little bit of ease to fly. And I think we should keep it really close. How close can I make these? Alright. Got it. Wait, no. That's where I'm going to drop the stuff off. Right, and then I'm going to build it there, let's say. And then I'm going to build an assembler here. Okay, and then we need 2. Let's give ourselves a little bit of room to build here before we run out of space. We need to bring up the material, but we want to bring it up. We can use our standard inputs -1 method. And then we can also quickly set this up as well. Drop off the items both sides. then you will collect. Uh-oh. I think I've done something wrong here. We want to merge down the line. Like that. Okay, and then over here. What do you think? Same thing? It's basically one off the edge. Just looking for placement ideas. We're gonna merge this back in, go down the line. Oh, there's a lot of space on that. I don't need that much space. We're gonna move that over. There we go. And then this side, we're going to make the sheets. And on this side, we're going to make the casings. Okay. Bring up the copper, bring up the aluminum. It splits. And then it drops. That's pretty straightforward. Let's see here. Let's build a power pole right here, right on the line. Thank you. And then in here, we'll go one over there, one over there. All right, once we bring up the aluminum and the copper, we should be making stuff. We're gonna need to build a little infrastructure here. Right. Uh-oh. We really need to build some infrastructure. We need to connect here. And this thing is way out here. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. I always somehow forget. I figure if I'm gonna zoop one thing, I should be in the zoop mode universally. And let's just make sure that this is the right distance. I guess if I pulled off of this lower belt, it might give me a little bit more room to maneuver everything. You know what's great about being at max length with these conveyors is only straight is long enough, or short enough, I should say. One level low, it's too long. One level too high, it's too long. Boop. Perfect. And then we'll split right on this. I'm gonna try a classic double split. This front one can go 2 down, but this back one has to go to the top. One, two. Then the reverse thought process here. Front one has to be max, and this one is 1, 2, click. There we go. We're sending aluminum and copper in. So it looks like only one side is working. Let's double check that. Oh. Wait, what? Oh, there we go. Ah. Need a belt to connect that. Oh, yeah, look at that. 150 ingot per minute. Yeah, this is definitely the high-speed recipe. This one's only 30. So, okay. 180 per minute. I can make a good number of those with that, with those numbers. 780, basically talking 4. Do I necessarily need that many of this? Probably not. I probably need more of these, right? But let's drop down here and we want to connect these two new resources. These are done resources too, by the way. Oh, and while we're here, not to get too distracted, we do have this industrial storage container of aluminum, and we want to make sure we're remerging it. All right, this is just a way to collect some extra once things get backed up. But now we want to make sure that we're making use of it. All right. Whoop, whoop. Right, we need to put the things back on the belt, the completed materials. Let's start from the bottom in that regard. Yeah, let's make a few. If we build this bottom belt, we can get some heavy modular frames put in place. At least make a belt's worth. I hear a machine spinning up. All right, and then we want to drop splitter right here. All right, give me a second here. I'm going to go grab some additional encased beams. Be right back. All right, we're back. I grabbed some encased beams, and we're going to go under here and build out the infrastructure to collect our casings. Uh-oh. That's not gonna work. Oh, yeah, I don't want that to be a splitter. I want this to be a merger. There we go. Okay. What do you say? Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. And then we go over here. Merger. And that should send off the beautiful aluminum casings. What do you think? No, I think the construction. We'll jump up here to get the... actually, this isn't very exciting up here. It's just pretty straightforward, boring construction. Which is what you want, really. Only problem I'm having at this point is that I have some aluminum that I don't want on my inventory that I don't know that I can drop off very easily. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stick with it for a while. But that's it. That's how you get your aluminum casing and your aluminum sheets. Very happy with that. Added some additional copper to stretch the aluminum a little further. But all in all, I kind of think that's all there is to it. Really, it's pretty straightforward. I think the key to having really good success in the aluminum tier is getting a good selection of alternate recipes. I mean, I am using alternate recipes in this very heavily, mainly the instant scrap. The instant scrap adds the requirement for sulfur, but the sulfur requirement is so easy. Water and sulfur, simple, straightforward, no problems. The ratios, I maxed out, overclocked this to 125 sulfur, and this uses exactly 125 sulfur. I have 2 of these aluminum scrap recipes going. So I have 2 refineries going. Simple, straightforward. Each one of these machines produces almost as much water as it uses. So you don't have to bring up a ton of water. At least you have to bring up a lot less than you think, right? Each one of these machines actually results in 25 additional water usage. So you don't have to bring up full water both times. So it's 150 water per instant scrap recipe. And then once we have the instant scrap, I mean, we skip the alumina solution, we skip a couple of key painful steps. And then all we have to do is use that scrap over here. Combine it with the silica. I had the option to do... Or did I have the option? No, I did not have the option to do the pure aluminum. I could have, but this actually helps stretch the aluminum by adding the silica, which is interesting because it's the default recipe. You get some additional aluminum ingots. The pure recipe is half the output for kind of sort of the same amount of scrap. So this is better. It helps us stretch our aluminum a little further. And then once we've got the ingots, we made some copper, right? So now you're back on the normal track. Again, using a alternate recipe, we're cutting our copper with iron to stretch our copper a little further, and also making the copper faster. Then we combine the copper with the aluminum ingots over here, and we're making our end products, which in this case is the casing, pun not intended, and the aluminum sheet. The aluminum sheet is going to be the key resource for the next level of belts. Now that we're actually making aluminum sheets, I think I'm going to replace my belt and lift with that level. So 3 and 8. Mark 5 and Mark 5. Okay, so now I'm ready for the highest available speed logistics. That's it. I mean, that's really not that much more complicated than any other production chain. It's a little bit more, right? Because it's got liquids involved, and you're blending things, and it's the first time you've used the blender. The blender does require two solids and 2 liquids if you're going to use this alternate recipe. So yeah, okay, it's a little bit more complicated, but at the end of the day, you know, you just do it one step at a time. You look at the previous step in your production chain to make sure you have enough stuff to add, and then you look at the next step in your production chain to make sure you're supplying enough stuff. And you just do that over and over again. So with all that said, thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.